This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Well, hello.
Caw-caw.
And welcome to the show. I'm Stu. She's Emily. And this is the thing we talk on. It's Total Babble. Give it a listen if you like it. Why not subscribe and tell your friends about it? We are here having fun talking about stuff week after week. A lot of politics lately, but whatever happens, happens. And that's what we talk about. The first thing I will say, Emily, is that I've got enough children's clothing. If you wanted to stop sending that, then we could kind of go with that plan. And I just have no use for it. I'm okay in that regard. Do you want to tell that story or should I?
I want you to tell it from
Okay.
your perspective first, and then I'll pick up on what happened after I texted you.
All right. And so, she's got a terrible cold and she's getting through this somehow. And the other day I got a package from Walmart and then I got another package from Walmart, separate delivery, one FedEx, one UPS. I'm like, I don't like Walmart. I don't usually order from them. Everybody that works at Walmart is terrible. And I did have an account from having to buy things at one point. So I opened them up and I'm like, what is this? And I got what I thought was women's workout gear. It wasn't women's workout gear. It was, I guess, children's workout gear. I found out later. But then what I did was I called Walmart and I read them the order number that was on the label. And they, being that all people that work at Walmart are terrible, could not help me and said, well, we have a different name on the order. And I said, well, I did not order this. You better not have charged me. They said, don't worry, we haven't charged you. Then I said, okay, well, just make sure it doesn't happen anymore. This is very concerning. I've heard about internet scams where companies will send a bunch of stuff to your house over and over again, and that way they can show it as a complete order and do fake reviews online. I don't want to be a part of that. And they said, okay. So then I went another day and I got two more of the exact same package. I didn't even bother to open them. I was just like, oh, fuck, this is here again. So I called and was more pissed off at the Walmart people. And I said, just cancel my account, get rid of it completely. I don't want to have anything more to do with you people. And I don't understand why this keeps happening. And they, of course, were unable to help me. Then I went and I said, well, I'm going to make a good out of this, proactive moving forward, pay it forward, be the good guy. I said, I'm going to give these to a homeless shelter. So trying to find a homeless shelter that takes clothes and not food is a little bit of a thing. I found one, drove a little bit out of my way and went and delivered it and felt good about myself and got home and was looking at my computer for maybe an hour and then got a text from Emily that said, have you by chance gotten my stuff by mistake? And I went, oh, God damn it. And I'll take a little bit of the blame because, well, really, it's Walmart. They're terrible. But if I would have waited a couple days, I would have found out that I shouldn't be giving them away and it could have worked out. But I guess this was stuff that you had ordered and it wasn't women's clothing. It was children's clothing. And now people are going to think I'm some kind of Epstein guy or something is my thought.
How it happened was at Christmas, I sent you something because the only place I could find it was on Walmart, right? I placed an order for my kids to have thermal underwear for under their ski gear because we're going to the snow. And the other stuff were beanies and gloves and neck gaiters, so all proper winter items. And it looks like they were all fulfilled separately. And so I kept getting these notices saying it's been delivered. And then I clicked on track package because I was really waiting on them. And then I saw a photo. I was like, wait a minute, that's not my house. And so then I went in and looked at the address. Now, when I was placing the order, I changed it off your address multiple times to the point where I actually deleted your address out of the book so that it wouldn't happen. Your address was also listed as my credit card address because their system's all messed up. I deleted it. On the confirmation page, it said my address and my name. However, somehow it got sent to your place. And when I logged in, I could see the tracking. And so then I sent you a text and you let me know that you'd already donated it by that time. And so I contacted Walmart. And they said you have to wait 48 hours. If you haven't received it, then we'll give you a refund.
Well, I
So I
know
said,
where it is.
I was like, well, I know I'm not going to get it because I'm looking at photos, delivery photos of an
Yeah.
address that's not mine. And they're like, I can't help you until blah, blah. I was like, fine. I came back 2 days later and they refunded me for one of the items. And then for the rest of the items, it went to review and they said, no, we can't. We're not going to refund you because there's delivery evidence that it was delivered. And I was like, yeah, but that's not my house. And also, if you look, I had to reorder the exact same items. Look on that order in those photos. That's my house. And the reason I'm so salty about it is because this is not my fault. I checked and triple checked the address. I had to go backward in the screen so many times because no matter how many times I deleted your address out of the address book, it kept coming back as my default address. Even when I sent you that thing one time, I didn't turn your address to my default address. I certainly didn't change my credit card billing address to your house.
Right.
And I tried again this morning, and so we'll see how it goes. It's going to get reviewed, but it's highly likely that they're going to reject it again.
Well, okay, a couple things. You can also dispute it with your credit card company. Tell them the story. They will probably back you up, especially if you spend a lot of money with them month to month. And I will reimburse you for this if you want, because technically, if I would have waited a little bit, it would have worked out. And I feel a little bit responsible in that. And I'm very willing to do that. And also, we can make a clip of this and publicly shun Walmart and show people how terrible Walmart is and that they shouldn't do business with Walmart if they're not going to do the right thing and stand by their customers. I'm willing to do that as well. So whichever path you want to go down, but we will not lose in this. You know how I get.
I know. Thank you. It's interesting to me as well because, quite often I'm always like surprised at like what you do, like what your first things are and like how you go about it.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting to me. I had something similar happen to me a few months ago. I received a package full of weird stuff that I hadn't ordered. A nail clipping set and mouth sore mouth rinses and Oragel for like if you've got sores inside your mouth. My first thought is someone who has sent me stuff in recent history accidentally sent this to my house.
See, I would take it personal. I would say they think I have really bad hygiene and they're trying to make a suggestion.
Right.
Right.
So I texted all of my friends who I know. Turns out it was truly an error from Amazon.
And by the way, I don't know if you want to put that stuff on your kids. It smells like horrible chemicals, and I don't think you want your kids to have chemicals, but that's up to you.
That's really interesting because I know you mentioned that over text.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting for it because I ordered it all again. So I was expecting it to stink. And so I don't know why your stuff that you got, the same product, smells bad, but of chemicals and stuff, the ones that I received didn't at all. But isn't that strange, right?
Well, Walmart is selling partially defective stuff and they're charging you for stuff that is never delivered. Walmart needs to make it right. We've already had so many problems with Walmart. I don't know why you go back to them. You're trying to be a loyal customer and they won't let you.
It's so funny too because I haven't purchased anything from Walmart since I purchased one thing for you. But before that time, hadn't bought anything off them for such a long time.
Yeah, I try
and then
not
again,
to shop
same
with them.
deal.
Yeah, I don't like to shop with them and Target now. I have nowhere to shop except Costco and Trader Joe's. That's what I have left.
Yeah, I do Costco, Trader Joe's, and I do still get the occasional thing from Target.
I have to tell you that if I was homeless, I would get a Costco membership because you can take that card and go in and get all the free samples. And then also, if you're out trying to get money and a few people give you money, you can live because at Costco, you can get an entire pizza for $10 and then you can live off that pizza for like 2 or 3 days. I think it's fantastic.
I mean, it's great. If you don't have access to a refrigerator in summer, though, I don't know if I'd be nomming on a pizza for 3 days. Wow. But for $1.50, you can get a hot dog and a drink.
Yeah, it's true.
And prices never change. I think it's fantastic. And I actually like their food too. Occasionally, all 4 of us will go down there, do some grocery shopping or get whatever we need. and then go and have hot dogs.
And as far as pizza goes, I would rather have that pizza than like Domino's or Pizza Hut. It's better than that.
Oh.
Those chains are crap. It's a pretty good chain pizza. So,
Yeah, I agree. It is actually pretty good.
see,
I
this
wonder
is how
if
we can endorse products and companies in stores too. Take notice of that, everyone.
yeah, and Costco are pretty neutral. I stopped shopping at my local grocery store that I've been loyal to because I found out that the owners of that were massive contributors to the
Yeah.
Trump
It's the way you
campaign.
got to go. You have to look out for it, and we're running out of places. But the pendulum is starting to swing, and we'll get into that. Let's start the week and what happened out there.
Yeah.
First off, apparently it was just the best, most exciting Super Bowl ever.
The internet's #1 place for sports talk. This is Total Babble.
Wow, people are saying it was just the Super Bowl to end all Super Bowls, exciting and fantastic and wonderful. And I'm just doing that so that sports fans will get upset right now. It was really boring and terrible, people are saying, as far as Super Bowls go. And really the only thing we kind of know about that we were interested in was that halftime show. Did you see the Bunny Man?
I did.
I did too.
Our whole family very specifically came in to watch that. We did watch the Super Bowl because in my house we are Seattle Seahawks fans. So we did.
And you were happy with the outcome. And I saw the halftime show after the fact. I was trying to catch it because I wanted to actually watch that to give them the ratings because that is registered through your cable or internet box or whatever. And I had friends that were going to text me to let me know it was on. And then I missed their text because something's happening with my phone. And I didn't get to watch it until after the fact. But I didn't like it. I loved what he did with it. And I didn't dislike it because it was in Spanish. I disliked it because it was thumpy dance music and it was just not for me.
Oh,
The fact
makes
that
sense.
he did that and did it as a big finger to everybody that deserved a big finger, I was completely behind. I just was like, this is not for me. But hey, look at Jessica Alba. That's always good. That was my whole thought process.
Yeah, what's she been doing for the last 15 years?
Yeah.
Not fucking aging, let me
She's
tell
the
you.
Dark Angel.
She is the Dark Angel. So we really liked the halftime show and we talked about it at length as a family. Like, okay, well, why did we like it? Because we don't really speak Spanish. I understand a little bit, but everybody else in my house, zero. But we watched it from start to finish. And what the conclusion that we came to was that because we could only focus on the music and the rhythm and not the lyrics, but also the visual storytelling really stood out to us a lot more, and all of the cultural references and just how much of a celebration of the culture and, you know, the big middle finger to the United States on the power poles. Do you remember when they went without power and Puerto Rico went without
Yeah,
power for
and
6 months and the US did nothing about it?
Trump was throwing paper towels at them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he remembers.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really entertaining. I also thought that the design and the way that it was filmed was very clever. It tickles me no end that all of the grass had people inside of it, and that's how they were able to get it on and off the field so quickly.
Pretty cool.
It was really, really cool. But I really liked it. I couldn't tell you that I'm a Bad Bunny fan. I'm not. I've probably heard one or two of his songs. It's just not the style of music that we listen to in my house. But 2 thumbs up. And I thought that Lady Gaga's performance was a bit, I don't know. I like Lady Gaga, but I didn't really love her performance. It struck me as a little bit odd. And I was super pumped to see Ricky Martin sing in Spanish. Lots of people probably already know this about Ricky Martin, but when he started releasing his first single, he was essentially told that you have to sing in English or you'll never be a star or you'll never make it. And he had to change that about himself to find fame. And I think it was a real full circle moment for him to, one, see Benito be famous and perform at the Super Bowl in Spanish, but also for him to be able to
Come back.
sing in Spanish.
Yeah.
It was just a very nice cultural moment, I thought.
And the thing about him, and I don't know if you've heard this, not a lot of people know. I'll tell you right here. We always just talk plainly on the show. The thing about Ricky Martin is he's living La Vida Loca. I don't know if you heard that or not.
Yeah.
And it's out there. It's out there, boy. Yeah, sure.
It's out there. Yeah. No.
So, I didn't relate to it. I thought it was cool that they did it, and I liked the message of it. And here is a thing that I have heard nobody else bring up, and I don't know how it is not glaring, but that halftime show was the Apple Music halftime show. Tim Cook has been chugging Trump cock since day one, yet it was the Apple Music halftime show. There's a little bit of a conflict there, and I don't understand how that can be. And I feel like, okay, Tim Cook at least choose a side and Apple choose a side. It seems deliberate that they are chugging Trump cock and then wanting to go to the other side too, to keep it balanced and keep everybody happy and keep everybody buying their product.
Well,
like, how do you do both and rationalize it?
my theory is that Apple Music actually had nothing to do with it and no say in it. In the same way that just because your logo is on a Formula One car doesn't mean you get to change the design or sit in the box.
Yeah.
It was probably, in my opinion, a corporate sponsorship that would have been done years in advance. They would have paid for it years in advance. And then the organizers would have decided what was going to happen.
That makes sense. That very much makes sense. All right. And then Green Day on the pre-show, I thought they sounded great. They always sound great. People were surprised and disappointed that they didn't go after Trump. Unofficial producer Scott texted me and said, I thought they'd do more. And my thought was that I bet they were probably on a big delay and that NBC said, well, we're staying neutral because we don't want to be CBS. And if you do any punk rock shit, then we're going to delay you. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I think that they were told not to. But irony abounds, right? You invite a punk rock band to do it and then tell them not to do any punk rock shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, who knows if they did or not? They may have. And we may just not have seen it because of the delay. They could have gone to, who knows?
They still sounded great and they talk shit all the time in concerts. So good for them. Yep. And then the other big thing in the news, do you want to talk about Apegate or Penisgate first? There's a couple gates this week.
Wow. Bill Gates as well.
3 gates, multi-gates.
Multi-gates. Well, let's start with Penisgate because I don't know what this one's about and I've got a pretty good inkling what Apegate is about. So let's go. Tell me all about Penisgate, Stu.
Well, have you been watching the Olympics?
Oh, I know what this is about.
Have you been watching the Olympic dong is my question.
I'm trying to cut down.
Yeah.
I have not been watching Olympics at all.
Really? That's surprising to me.
Well, only because I've been unwell and busy.
Yeah.
The only part of the Olympics that I've been watching is all of the Coach Snoop content.
Oh, that's right. He's involved in that. I gave up on him years ago. I just think I don't want to get shot, but I just think he's such a whore. He whores out everything, and I don't think he's that great a guy that people say he is. And
I don't know. I think it's cute watching him run around as like this funny little coach and just watching him interact with all of the people, learning how to do all of the sports. I thought that was super cute. And I have a favorite Snoop story, which I've already told on the show, and I'll tell you that if you want to hear it.
Where he was a pimp hanging out with Magic Don Juan, trafficking women, that one?
No,
Okay.
not that one. I feel like he's really transcended that now.
Yeah.
But it's, he's got a bunch of grandkids. He's got a bunch of kids, a bunch of grandkids. Because he's so famous, he can't just go to his grandkids' parties or he gets mobbed by sycophants. So he gets dressed up as costume characters and he goes as if he's the entertainment. And then all he gets to do the whole time is play with his grandkids and their mates as a normal granddad. He just happens to be in maybe like a shark suit or an inflatable cheetah costume or something like that.
It's like that game show where they're in costume and singing the hits and you have to guess who they are.
The Masked Singer.
That's what it is. He is the masked singer, that's Snoop.
Yeah, he's the masked granddad. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Back to the penises in the Olympics.
Here is the news story. There's big penis gate happening.
Male ski jumpers injecting their penises to fly farther? This is a real question being asked at the Winter Olympics. Welcome to Penisgate. So here's what sparked it. A German newspaper claimed some male ski jumpers may be injecting hyaluronic acid into their private parts, not for aesthetics, not for confidence, but allegedly for aerodynamics.
Okay, Olympics or not, I'm never injecting acid into my penis. I will just say that unequivocally right now.
Because in ski jumping, size matters. Actually, the size of your suit matters a lot. Athletes are measured before the season using 3D body scanners while wearing skin-tight underwear. And here, every centimeter counts. Think flying squirrel physics. When you spread out, you glide longer. A slightly bigger suit gives ski jumpers more fabric to catch air, more lift in the air, and that means they literally fly farther. And it can cause substantial difference. One study found that just a 2-centimeter increase in suit size could add 5 to 6 meters to a jump. That's massive in a sport decided by inches. So according to the report, some athletes may have tried to game the system by temporarily increasing their measurements by again injecting their penises. Hyaluronic acid itself is not banned by anti-doping rules. It's a legal substance and commonly used in cosmetics and medical treatments. You might be familiar with it if you're a skincare enthusiast. And here's the thing, ski jumping does have a history of suit manipulation. Last year, Norway's team was caught altering the crotch area of suits with extra stitching to make them bigger. So the ski jumping is not new to the crotch controversy. Asked about this claim at the press conference, World Anti-Doping Agency officials said they will investigate any evidence of wrongdoings, but we're not aware of the allegations.
There you go. So that's happening, and I just have come up with a new euphemism based on that. It just struck me right now. A thing you can say about a guy is, well, between you and me, that guy, he glides longer. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of go with that. That guy glides longer. Oh.
This is going to sound crass, okay?
I love that.
If this is where we're really going with it,
yeah.
Why don't guys just masturbate and give themselves a hard-on before they go and do the jump? Because they can't say anything about that.
That's true. But then they would have to make the suit, but then the suit would stretch. So I think it would work out.
Yeah.
I think it would be embarrassing. I think we need to move past that embarrassment in this Olympic society. And I think you're right. That might be the answer.
Yeah.
And then to keep it going, they would have to put porn up on all the screens all around the arena so they could still be in that thought and keep it going. And you make your special things. Oh, I'm into girl on girl. Put that up because I'm about to make the jump. That's what you would do.
I don't know how the fans would feel about that, but
fans don't get a say. This is competition.
This is competition. This is the mind games. So how much can they inject? What sort of difference are we making here?
Well, they're talking about centimeters makes a difference, allegedly, and they say that it really does work. And does it really work, or does it just get in their mind that it works? Like people that really competitively ride bikes shave their bodies because they think it gives them better aerodynamics, and I think that's probably bullshit.
I don't know. I'm not
Then I thought, okay, if we correlate it to women, there are women ski jumpers.
Yeah.
Why are we not doing this with women? What about women in the boobs? Next Olympic ski jumper, Dolly Parton.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I thought you were going to go the way of the moose knuckle, but I see you've turned it upside down.
I'm not done yet.
I was going to say, like, why not? Why isn't the female population out there just getting flap augmentation?
I thought about that, and I couldn't think of any examples of big flappy women, so that's why I went with Dolly, but you're on the right track there. There could be special surgeries had for women, and then I thought J-Lo, if you want a big ass, that gives it more area. She'd be like a flying squirrel out there.
I think Cardi B has self-identified as Flaptastic.
Interesting. Okay, well, she'd be open for it because she's into all that WAP shit, so go with that. And I remember, back in the 90s, Britney Spears got out of a limo one time. That is supposedly the way she is, too. Okay, we've got Cardi B, Britney Spears, and Dolly Parton are now Olympic athletes. And J-Lo, I guess.
And J-Lo. Did you hear that Britney sold her entire music catalog?
People have been doing that. I had not heard that. How much? Do you know?
I don't know.
A lot, I bet.
I bet it's a lot. And at the same time, she said that she'll never perform in the United States again.
Do you think she got more than $1 million?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Just checking.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know. It's hard to tell these days because, maybe they take advantage of the crazy and they say, oh, yeah, Brittany, your entire catalog, we'll give you $200,000. You can live for a couple years on that. Get ready. Okay. I'm dancing with knives. I don't care.
Okay. I wonder, is Britney really as crazy as everybody says? And bear with me. I think maybe she did crack under the pressure or something happened. But then I think that what happened to her after that would have been enough to make anyone crazy.
All the focus and stardom and weirdness that happened in her life, you mean?
Well, yeah, and being completely controlled by her family and then being put into a conservatorship where she was essentially used and abused by her own family and had no agency over her life and that sort of stuff. I feel like that would be enough to make anyone crazy, and have her family basically use her as a broodmare. I don't know, like just exploiting her, making her do a Vegas residency and taking all of the money, like living off it. And all the while, she had her kids taken away from her, all of that type of stuff. I feel like that'd be enough to make anyone crazy.
But did all that stuff happen because she was crazy, or did she go crazy because all that stuff happened? The stuff I've seen of her, and I listen to different morning shows and things, and they talk about, oh, Britney's crazy again. Go look at her Instagram, and I see it, and she seems legitimately crazy, naked, dancing with knives, and talking about all kinds of weird stuff. And I wonder which way it goes. Like, did they take advantage of her, or were they really taking control of things because she was nutty? I don't know.
I think she had at the very, very least, had a psychotic break way back in the day. You'll remember it from the head-shaven umbrella bashing days.
Yeah.
But she was under a lot of pressure, and I think that started this downward spiral. And who knows what kind of crazy stuff they had her consuming. But she's probably been medicated. She's been held against her will. She's basically a prisoner.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I could go either way on it. I don't think that, well, I don't know. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
All right. So then the Apegate thing happened, and this was Trump and his fucking racist meme that at first I saw it flying by in the scroll, and I thought, oh, well, that's a joke. And then I thought, oh, it's not a joke. That must be from like 10 years ago or something. And then I looked into it, and now our fuckface racist cunt of a president decided to post an animation of the Obamas as apes. And I just thought, how could that even be? And then I thought, who we have? And I thought, oh, of course that could be. And the White House denied it at first, and then they blamed it on an aide. And my question was, aside from your thought process on it, was there any part of it that you thought Trump didn't do? Was there even a second where you thought, oh, no, it couldn't be him? Because I knew immediately it had to be him. He's crazy and evil.
Yeah, of course it was him. Of course it was him. And I honestly thought that the defense was going to be he didn't mean to share it, he just meant to like it, because that seems, like something that would really happen.
That would make it okay.
Well, at least they think it would.
Right.
And then, of course, every time something goes awry on social media, they blame an aide. Yeah, give it a break.
Did they fire the person that posted that, or is Donald Trump still president? That was the meme that was going around.
Yeah. It's so outrageous. It's just so ridiculous. But it's a new thing every day. Honestly, I'm not even surprised anymore. This government is an absolute joke.
Yeah, and it is such a new thing every day that you're amazed at how much of it doesn't get covered, because when that happened, I went to the news looking for it, and it was a couple hours after it had happened, and there was just nothing in unless I dug a little bit further. And I just thought, how could that have happened? Did it not be the lead story? I said, oh, that's the age that we're living in, where it's just not that big a deal because of everything that has happened. And I'll say this too, Savannah Guthrie's mom, it's a terrible, horrible story. And I don't want that for her, but I don't feel like we need to spend 15 to 20 minutes of the news every night focusing on it and going over it over and over again. I feel like that's been the terrible flavor of the moment, and we're spending too much time on that, and we should maybe point out other terrible things that are happening. And it's horrible, and get the information out there that they're still looking for her, but it feels gross to me that they're highlighting it so much. Exploitive, I think.
In my neck of the woods, they're not covering it at all.
Huh.
And the daily ridiculousness of our president is highly censored. So they don't cover that at all. The only way that I get this information is through social media or through Reddit.
CBS TV and their news is a complete corrupt shit show with Barry Weiss, and we've talked about that. NBC is trying to play the middle game where they don't commit to anything being horrible, and their guy just did an interview with the president where they gave him just bullshit softball questions and didn't challenge him on anything. And ABC seems like maybe they're a little bit more open to criticism, but they're still all being controlled to a degree, and that's what we need to get past, and hopefully we will get past it.
I want to hope that we're going to get past it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the damage is beyond repair. So think about, I know we're talking about things that are a little bit closer to home, but the broad-reaching implications of our president's approach to foreign policy is so bad that it is breaking literally hundreds of years of trust. Because if one man can do this, foreign countries and foreign leadership isn't going to trust the United States. They won't trust anybody to stand up. They'll look at it, they'll be like, well, you all let this happen. We are hated and untrustworthy according to the rest of the world.
Anytime it comes up, I want to say to people, sorry, I'm from the United States. We're not all like that. You know, it's just the way that it feels nowadays. It is embarrassing to be an American nowadays, just based on perception. And I wonder, do they really get that most of us understand that our president is a fuckface? I don't know if they understand that. And I really need to be sure to point that out.
It's, as somebody, I don't know if I've ever shared this before, but I'm white. And
I had no idea.
well, everybody else can't see me. And as such, I feel like I have to clarify that I'm not in on this when I talk to people. I am genuinely concerned about having children that are going to grow up and they have American accents. How will they get jobs in other countries?
Yeah. And it also happens at home that I've talked about this before. I have Hispanic neighbors, and I finally yesterday went over to them and was talking to them about things. And I said, the world is a very terrible place right now. If you or our gardeners or anybody needs a place to hide out, let me know. I can't imagine what it's like to go through life not lily white right now. You can jump over the fence or do whatever. And I got very choked up and I said, I just want you to know that we are not those people. And it was awkward. I think it was taken well, but it was still awkward. And the guy said, thanks. You never know nowadays. We appreciate that. And I was like, okay, well, there you go. You have to point out that you're not one of them nowadays, I think is what it is. And there is an us and them.
It's interesting too, because I'm surprised by who the them are. And a specific example that I have is people whose kids go to school with my kids. I know the parents. I've volunteered at the school with them. They seem like relatively nice people. Then my youngest son comes home day after the Super Bowl and reveals to me that their kid is in class sprouting off racist remarks about Bad Bunny and about how he should just speak English and yada, yada, yada. And I think,
kids don't get to that point on their own. They get it from their parents and what they're around.
Exactly. And it just makes me go, oh my gosh. And it's really rough because one of my son's really good friends who's in the same class, I mean, nobody knows this about him because he's American, but his dad is from Puerto Rico. And so he speaks Spanish. And so he steps up to this kid and is like, hey, I really liked the halftime show. I thought it was fantastic. It was a great celebration of culture. And the kid's like, well, what's it to you? He's like, well, for one, because I'm Puerto Rican. Oh. I honestly don't understand. And I wish someone could explain it to me. I don't understand what the moral objection is to Bad Bunny. Now, I haven't gone and translated every single lyric to every single one of his songs. But I feel like putting him up against Kid Rock, and Kid Rock is just the example of all that's holy and good in the world, knowing how suggestive and insane some of his lyrics are.
And first off, Bad
don't
Bunny
understand.
may not have been lip syncing. There could be that too.
Yeah. And also, by the way, that whole thing wasn't live. It was pre-recorded for the live stream.
So they had a chance to edit that and they didn't fix it?
But they
Oh
didn't
my
even
God.
do it.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
That shows you what we're dealing with.
I mean, that's what people are saying on the internet. I wasn't a part of the production crew, so I cannot confirm, but apparently it wasn't even live.
Every time something that outrageous and bad happens to them, I wonder if it's something where there's good people on the inside, maybe intentionally fucking it up. I'd like to think that has a real great sense of a little bit of justice to it.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of the people who worked in the car manufacturing plants that were taken over during the Nazi regime in World War II.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it's like the French and like Citroen, the cars.
There's Peugeot, Citroen, yeah.
They were having them manufacture vehicles for the Nazis. And what they did was they changed the length of the oil dipstick by a fraction. just by a fraction, so that it would look like it had oil in it, but in relatively short order, it would break down in the field. It would run dry of oil.
That's great.
Those people are doing God's work.
Yeah, that's great. That's clever. I like that.
I'm not 100% on my game, and so I'm sad that I can't remember the name of the designer and the factory, but.
All right, well, let's do this, and then we'll end the show. We'll make it an early show because you don't feel good and you're getting ready to travel, and then we have to do a pre-record in 2 days. But we will end on this. I saw this on the internet the other day. James Carville is an American politician and consultant and author, and he's been around forever. And he was on Politicon, which is a YouTube channel, talking about this. And I thought it was, for the first time in a long time, kind of uplifting and hopeful and angry like I like. But this is James Carville edited. I didn't change the context, but I cut it down.
Everybody that loves the United States, every patriotic American, every person that is disgusted by the putrid behavior of the United States government, join the party, because it's coming to an end. We're not just going to win, people. We're going to win in ways that you can't imagine. And not only are we going to win, we're going to watch these sorry, slimy people, in an effort to try to save themselves, disgrace their families, disgrace their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, and everything else. If you want to know who I think exemplifies the Republican Party today, it's Lindsey Graham. That's right. That spineless jellyfish who don't know what the fuck to do is leading the party. You're not going to be able to ruin the country. You're seeing these courageous athletes in Italy. You see courageous people in the streets of Minneapolis. You're going to see courageous people, about 1 million, show up at the next No Kings rally. The ass whipping that is coming is going to be complete, and it's going to be total, and you're going to be disgraced. So go raise all of the fucking special interest, corporate, crypto bullshit money that you can come up with. Is not going to do you any good. It's not going to do you any good. You can knock down the East Wing. You can shit all over the Kennedy Center. It's not going to do any good because the country hates you. They literally cannot stand you. And I'm not talking about just people that listen to this YouTube channel or partisan Democrats like Carville. No, they all hate you. I don't live in a deep, deep, deep blue place. I see the disappointment on faces of people that, all I know, may have voted for Trump. I'm looking at election results. We're going to beat these people. We're like you can't even believe what's getting ready to happen to them. And then they're going to all be disgraced by history. And I, for one, think we ought to pick one prominent place and put Trump's fucking name on it. I mean, really, I don't care. And never take it off. Because we can never, ever forget what happened to the United States. And we should have a monument of a roll call of cowards. Of course, Lindsay and be first ballot Hall of Famer. There'd be several others. We could make our nomination. The United States is back in our glorious moments ahead of us because we're going to show these cocksuckers exactly what we think of them. We may make a mistake, but we're going to correct it, and you're going to get corrected with the mistake. And most of all, we're going to enjoy ourselves in November when this fat sack of crooked shit is disgraced, and all of the acolytes around him will be disgraced even more.
That's James Carville. My favorite part of that is fat sack of crooked shit. I like that quite a bit. And I like it when people speak up and say what's on their mind. And I like it when it's accurate.
Oh, that was a great speech. And we live in hope. The midterms are great, but no matter what the result of the midterms are, we still got another 2 years after that.
The hope is that at least if we change things in the midterm, we'll be at a stalemate for 2 years and can stop anything more bad from happening, because then we'll just be in a gridlock. That's the best we have to hope for at this point. And he's going to die soon, one way or another. He's going to die soon. And then we've got Vance, that fucking dickhead, to deal with, but whatever.
Ugh. And maybe when Daddy's gone, Vance will grow a pair. Because back when he was a populist, he said stuff that I feel like we could get behind. Like, he was all over the Epstein files and how important it was to release them and yada, yada, yada. Then he did a complete 180.
Hated Trump and said horrible things about Trump, which is odd.
Right?
Yeah.
And then complete 180. And so what I do hope is that if Lord Emperor fucking Vagneck drops off the twig, then maybe J.D. Vance will have an attack of conscience, because it will then be incumbent upon him to pull the charred remains of the Republican Party and their reputation out of the fucking fire with his bare, stubby little fingers.
Yeah.
And he'll have to do something different, because even the Republicans are turning. What was that woman's name? Crikey again. Can't remember her name. But Republicans now are looking at the Epstein files. And there was one woman who was quoted in the media yesterday saying, I didn't understand what the big deal was about it, and I never really took the time to look into it. I left that to my colleagues to do, and I followed the party line, essentially. She said, but then I went and read them, and now I understand what the big deal is, and I'm so thankful to my colleagues like Massey for chasing this down. We need to do more about this. And I think that people within the party are now starting to realize that they're being manipulated and they're being lied to, and they're going to start doing their own legwork. And I think he's going to lose his support base from within his own party.
I agree that they're starting to turn. My only cynical thing would be that I don't think they don't know. I think they know what's right and what's wrong, and they just haven't been doing it because they don't have the balls. And okay, whatever gets us there, whatever gets us past this, and then we can put the really shitty people in jail. As we're recording this, Pam Bondi, I think, is testifying before Congress, and she is getting an ass full of them, and they are upset, and it's getting heated and contentious, and that's good. That's what we need. Stand up for us. That's what you're supposed to do as our leaders.
Right. And I want to know, though, and again, I don't know this. I'm going to have to do research. But I know that the Department of Justice can't investigate a sitting president. It's like a rule. What about the leader of the Department of Justice? Are they also not allowed to be investigated? What about the head of the FBI? All of these people, I would say Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, willfully, knowingly lied to the American people, lied to Congress, egregiously, repeatedly, are now openly involved in what is the biggest cover-up that we're aware of. Right. And they keep doubling down on it. But what really can happen to them? Can anything happen to them? What can we do?
maybe not in this specific instance, but I think there's probably evidence of war crimes based on everything they're involved in. There's definitely ways to make things stick once we get past it. We just can't do it right now because everybody that would apply that has been fired. When you go in and fire everybody that can do the right thing, you don't have to worry about the right thing being done. And this has come up because nobody in American history was ever shitty enough and evil enough to do this. And they didn't think of this. And gee, I wish our forefathers would have thought of terrible people way ahead of time. That's my assessment of it anyway.
Well, I really believe that the forefathers did, and that's why they wrote the Constitution the way that they did. The thing that's getting us into trouble is the Constitution isn't being followed.
Right.
They're
and we don't have
trampling-
anybody to enforce it.
Yeah, exactly. They're trampling our constitutional rights. Speaking of war crimes, do you remember Senator Mark Kennedy and like the seditious six, according to the president? Really good news. They're not getting indicted or investigated. The government tried and failed. It was rejected by a judge. So sanity prevails for all those good servicemen and women. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah, there's lots of little things that they are trying to do. Oh, and before I forget, let me tell everybody that might hear this, look into the Save America Act. That's something that they're trying to do to make it really almost impossible for people to vote. They're trying to make it so that you need a gift certificate. You need a birth certificate and you need a passport in order to be able to vote, which alienates a bunch of women and makes them unable to vote if they've been married. There's a big bullshit thing that is coming up soon that you should be calling your congressman on and putting your voice out there that no, this needs to not happen. It's their latest plan and latest ploy, and I've been putting it up in our social media, and please look for that and do something about it.
Well, and as a married woman, that my birth certificate doesn't match my passport or my driver's license. But I think it even speaks to a broader, more classist issue. Do you know how expensive it is to get a fucking passport?
I do, because I had to do it recently.
Right?
It's like hundreds of dollars.
It's hundreds of dollars. Plus, you have to get photos taken. You need to go out of your way to do it. And it is very, very expensive. Most people in our country don't just have $200 to $400 just lying around, and let alone in a family. Let's say now you've got a couple, both people in that couple, if they want to vote, they have to go and get a passport. Now imagine that you have someone over the age of 18 living in your house. Maybe you have multiple children. And now all of a sudden we're talking about a multi-$1,000 exercise just to exercise your rights as a United States citizen.
Yep.
And then who knows if you can get it processed in time to vote, because they say that they can't guarantee 6 weeks.
That's what I had done, and it was 6 weeks. And when a lot of people are needing to do that, there's no way they're going to be able to turn it around, and that's what they're hoping for. If you don't have your birth certificate, then you need to get a copy of that. That can take a few weeks, and guarantee that's going to get locked up if everybody's trying to get a birth certificate ahead of time too. So please think of that, and please let your officials know to kill that thing, because that's the latest thing to fuck us. So
yeah, it's just another classist bullshit ploy that it's just further evidence of the fact that we are represented by a bunch of fucktards who actually have no idea what it's like to be a regular working American.
It's everything we were taught to rage against when we were growing up, cheating and being shitty. And this is, if we can't win fair and square, we're just going to cheat. And we were taught better. As
and
people.
we were taught better, and nothing has run a highlighter over the division between billionaires and everybody else like this Epstein bullshit. Even Pam Bondi came out and said if we arrested everyone, the whole system would collapse. That's the fucking point, Pam.
Yep.
The point is the system's fucked because it's run by fucked people. So we need to dismantle the system, Pam, and put decent people in.
Everybody's response in social media when that came up was a reply of, okay, let's go, because that's what we need to do.
Yeah, and the system is already fucked. By the way, we're already struggling. Our dollar, The fucking markets are up and down like a yo-yo. It's not
Which
okay.
I think might be manipulated by Trump as well and all this. There's
Yep.
allegations of that. And okay, we were going to end early, but we haven't.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. So little time.
Shut the hell away from me.
There we go. Now it's official. Pretty proud. I remembered that 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, that's
Woo!
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a great one. Listen to that James Carville thing. It will make you feel a little bit better, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.